Sing it, Shuttle.
The sky is falling. Everybody's trying to grab the clouds.
This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, that is the truth. It does not matter who the host is. Today's Hump Day, June the 9th of 2021, day 160th of the year, and only 205 days left to go. Hopefully everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods as we are going down this lovely path. We're broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming to you live across the multiverse of Safety FM. So besides that we're hanging out at Safety FM, we're also hanging out with our friends, at that sister station thing.
Freeform radio never sounded this great. Or has it? Radio Big.
Okay, so Radio Big is part of our Freeform radio as they do the things that they do, because that's always part of the fun stuff. They come about, talk, do the things that they talk about. And, I have to tell you, it's a plethora of music. It's talk. It is, I have to tell you, it is straight freeform, because we are on there right now doing this safety show, the Rated R Safety Show to be exact. And then we kind of populate sometimes with some Safety FM stuff, some music stuff, and then we get a full array of characters. It is a full station dedicated to a whole plethora of people. If you want to find out more information, you can go to radiobig.fm. We're also available on all of the social media platforms as well to come out and hang out with us. Anyway, so there's that. So let's start talking right away about the things that are trending inside of the world here. And we'll go from there and talk about those things. So anyway, taking it from the very top, let's talk about what is in the top 5 of each category for the fiction and nonfiction side of the house, because I always think that those things are important. So let's start talking there. So if we're talking about the New York Times bestsellers list, let's go from there. At number 5 in the fiction category is Sully. At number 4, Project Hail Mary. At number 3, Shadowstorm. At number 2, The Last Thing He Told Me. Sounds intriguing. And at the number 1 top spot in the fiction category, Legacy. That's by Nora Roberts, just in case. If you want to look at the other side of the house for the nonfiction category, it goes something like this. The Premonition at number 5. At number 4, Zero Fail. At number 3, The Reviewed. At number 2, What Happened to You? And at number 1, Killing the Mob. So there you go. So a lot of stuff, of course, as we always start talking about it. So here's the thing. It's kind of funny that we're getting to this point of the show, because here's the thing. Under normal circumstances, we would say, okay, let's talk to feature story news. And, I was sitting around talking to someone yesterday, and they were talking about how sometimes things that are formula-based can throw some things off. And what do I mean when I say that? In regards, well, people can kind of take a look at your overall show, and they know that this is going to happen there, and this is going to happen here, and they can kind of almost peg where this next section will have. And I was like, I guess for simplicity as the host, yeah, that's kind of cool. But as it comes to the listener or the average viewer, it becomes, we can say monotonous in regards to that, or it just becomes so repetitive in regards to what's going on. So I was thinking about it this morning, and I was like, that's pretty interesting when you really start thinking about that whole grand scheme of things. So instead of going directly into the news, how about if we did it different and we got motivated first thing?
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Today's quote has been submitted by Sandy. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. I love this. Thanks for submitting this quote, Sandy. It's an excellent reminder that we determine many of the things in our own lives. I can choose to eat healthy or not. I can choose to take the stairs or the elevator. I can choose to find the closest parking spot or a distant parking spot that includes a little more exercise. Now, with each of the decisions that we just talked about, the outcome will change who I am just a little bit. But if I choose that path over and over, it will make a major difference. So make good choices repeatedly. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
So there you go. Motivation Minute starting off. Maybe we should be motivated always first thing in the morning. Maybe that wasn't expected as things come about and all that kind of fun stuff. I don't know. Something different for sure. I guess let's get moving and grooving because, well, the feature story is right here. 6 minutes past the top of the hour.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
On Feature Story News in London, I'm Chris Jones. Non-essential travel into France will be allowed from certain countries from Wednesday as the government eases COVID-19 restrictions further. The nationwide curfew is being relaxed and people will also now be able to eat inside cafes and restaurants. Ross Cullen reports.
Previously, only the outdoor areas of bars and cafes were open, but indoor dining rooms are also now open again. Sports halls, swimming pools and theme parks can also reopen from Wednesday. The eye-catching measure is to allow non-essential travel, but all incoming visitors must be fully vaccinated, and people travelling from countries on France's coronavirus amber list, like the US and the UK, must also show proof of a recent negative PCR test before coming into France. Ross Cullen, Paris.
India's reported under 100,000 new infections for 2 consecutive days, but authorities are worried about a third wave, as Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
Top health advisor to the government, Dr. V.K. Paul, says the next 6 months are crucial. As infections fall, authorities are stressing on the importance of distancing and masks, which they say could prevent a third wave, but they are preparing for the worst. Officials believe rapid inoculation is the only long-term solution and are hoping to procure 2 billion shots by the end of the year. They've already placed advance orders for 740 million shots from 3 domestic companies, which could be delivered by the end of September, delivering a shot in the arm for India's vaccination drive, which aims to inoculate 1 billion people by the end of the year. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
New data from the Office for National Statistics shows that around 80% of all UK adults now have COVID-19 antibodies. That estimation's up by 10% from April and is positive news as the UK moves towards the end of its coronavirus roadmap on June 21st. Brexit Minister Lord Frost has urged the EU to show pragmatism and common sense ahead of a showdown over the implementation of the Brexit divorce deal. Lucy Hoff is our Brussels correspondent.
There has been talk of sausage trade wars as tensions between the EU and UK over the implementation of the Brexit divorce deal flare up once again. It's reported that British ministers are considering another unilateral extension of the terms of the deal related to checks on goods travelling from Britain to Northern Ireland, this time for chilled meats, including sausages and mince. Such unilateral action would enrage the EU, who previously hit the UK with legal action after a similar extension on supermarket goods some months ago. On Wednesday, the European Commission's Maroš Šefčovič will be pressuring the UK to abide by its international law obligations. Lucy Hoff, Brussels.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, possible progress in the treatment against Alzheimer's disease. Earlier this week, for the first time in nearly 2 decades, the US Food and Drug Administration approved a new therapy for use in the battle against dementia. It's called aducanumab. It's administered by transfusion, and it aims to disrupt proteins that abnormally attach themselves to the brains of Alzheimer's patients. It went through 2 clinical trials before the FDA gave it the go go-ahead, but Dr. Mark Weatherall, a consultant neurologist at Stoke Mandeville Hospital in the UK, says there's still more research to be done.
Well, yes, it's really exciting that the American authorities have approved this drug for use in the States, and it's really the sort of first of what we all hope will be a series of new treatments for Alzheimer's. People have been doing research on Alzheimer's for decades, but it's an incredibly complicated disease, and there's been a whole series of very disappointing trial results. Anakinumab was put through a couple of trials, one of which seemed to work okay and the other which not so well. But overall, the FDA, I think, have felt that it's worthwhile and promising enough to be approved.
It is pricey, $56,000 per year, or just over $4,000 per treatment. But for more than 6 million Americans with dementia, it offers at least a sense of fresh hope. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap our top stories, non-essential travel into France will be allowed from certain countries from Wednesday as COVID-19 restrictions are eased further. India's reported under 100,000 new infections for 2 consecutive days. New data from the Office for National Statistics shows that around 80% of all UK adults now have COVID-19 antibodies, and Brexit Minister Lord Frost has urged the EU to show pragmatism ahead of a showdown over the implementation of the Brexit divorce deal. That's the latest feature story news. Chris Jones reporting.
Support for Safety FM is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and the detail on the 4.0 are next level. You know, more times of actually handling blades and becoming a bloody mess, if you know what I'm saying there. Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredible, comfortable grooming experience. The 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. This upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for some precise shave. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim throughout additional guards, lengths, with sizes 1 through 4. Did I mention that it's wireless charging? Yeah, not a joke here. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. It's time to get your own ball hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code SAFETY. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
I always have wondered, what does that mean? Is that like a potty humor type of thing? I don't get it. Whatever. It was kind of interesting because some people were discussing some T-shirts with me over the last little bit. Don't even know if I should go into that. Anyway, so let's start talking about some things going on inside of the world and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's start getting inside of the world of the hit list, because I always think that it's kind of important for us to be starting to talk about all the excellent things that are going on. So let's go from there. Anyways, former Kansas City Chiefs assistant coach Britt Reed pleaded not guilty this week to charges stemming from the car accident which he critically injured a young girl. A judge modified his bond to allow him to resume driving, but with an interlock device installed that requires him to pass a breathalyzer before his vehicle will start. Reed, the son of the head coach Andy Reed, was charged with driving while intoxicated, causing serious physical injury in April, 2 months after he hit two cars that were parked on the interstate entrance ramp. The 5-year-old Ariel Young was in one of the vehicles and suffered a traumatic brain injury after weeks of being in a coma. Young woke up but is unable to walk, talk, or feed herself. It is unlikely that she will ever make a full recovery. So this had happened right around what do I want to say here? When we had heard about this, it says, hold on, what does it say? It says physical injury in April. A serious physical okay, no. Physical injury, causing physical injury. Okay. But I remember talking about this shortly after. Was it shortly after the Super Bowl? I want to say it was shortly after the Super Bowl, or the game, or the big game, or whatever the hell people refer to it as. But you know what I'm talking about. That was around the same timeline that we were talking about this. Anyways, let's talk about a little bit more of some other things going on. The California couple arrested in connection to road rage shooting of the death of the 6-year-old Aiden Leos was officially charged yesterday. Marcus Anthony Edders and Wayne Lee were hit with different charges for their roles in the shooting. Eris was charged with murder and shooting of an occupied motor vehicle, both of which are felonies. Lee was charged with accessory after the fact, which is a felony, and concealing a firearm in a vehicle as a misdemeanor. Leos was shot as his mother drove him to school 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that was the one we were talking about yesterday in regards of where the person got cut off. And then all of a sudden she heard a large bang and then realized what had actually taken place, just to kind of give you a quick refresher. Not a great story to have a refresher on, but something to talk about. U.S. job opening hit a record high in April. The number of open positions totaled more than 9.2 million, according to the Labor Department jobs opening and labor turnover surveys. Those with the biggest openings included food services, 349,000, other services, 115,000, and durable goods manufacturing, 78,800. Economists attributed the high number to Americans being afraid of contracting the virus, lack of available childcare, and supplemental unemployment benefits. More than 7.6 million jobs have been lost since the onset of the pandemic. So some things to think about as we are talking first thing in the morning here. So let's get, should we start talking right away about what is going on inside of the market? If that's the case, maybe we should bring in some Johnny Smalls to him to talk to you about what exactly is going on.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. The equity market continues to tread water near all-time high levels while the market appears ready to move higher and set a new all-time high. The fear of rising inflation is holding it back. The major hurdle this week is the Consumer Price Index, which is scheduled to be released on Thursday. Last month's read of the index came in well above expectations and set the market into a nosedive. This month, consumer inflation should rise by about 0.5%, but the risk is to the upside. A hotter-than-expected number will not be good for equities. The caveat for investors is that any move sparked by the CPI data should be taken with a grain of salt. The summer trading season is already upon us, and that means lighter than normal trading volumes. A downturn in prices now will likely become a buying opportunity as the summer wears on. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, so there you go. There was some Johnny Smalls from the John and Heidi Show giving us some information on what is going on inside of the world of stocks. Let me give you my side of the equation. Wall Street saw a little movement on Tuesday and finished mostly flat as the Dow lost about 30 points and the NASDAQ added about 43 points and the S&P gained just under 1 point. Investors seem to be on a holding pattern as increasing prices on consumer goods raise questions about how soon the Federal Reserve may elect to abandon their current monetary policy and raise rates. Stretch VIX surged about more than 14% after being a much narrower than expected loss in the recent quarter. So some stuff to think about as you are playing the stock market. A lot of stuff going on there, as always.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's continue talking about some other things. A new dinosaur species has been discovered in Australia. Scientists who confirmed the discovery more than a decade after cattle farmers first uncovered the bones believe that it is one of the largest dino species in the world. The plant eater named, Australopithecus Cooperus lived during the period of 19 million and 96 million years ago when the continent was still attached to Antarctica. Paleontologists estimate that the dinosaur was approximately 5 to 6.5 meters and at the hip and most 25 to 30 meters in length. The size makes it one of the world's top 5 largest dinos. So hold on real quick. With the Velociraptor ride opening tomorrow at Universal Studios Orlando, is this a coincidence that this was when the announcement was done? Hey, I'm just trying to tie in some sequencing here.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, the Department of Justice has announced that investigators were able to recover most of the ransom paid to hackers who forced the shutdown of the Colonial Pipeline last month. The recovery effort began shortly after the ransom was paid to the Dark Side Criminal Enterprise. Hold on. To the Dark Side Criminal Enterprise Group. About 63.7 Bitcoin have been recovered with an estimated value of 2.3 million. The company paid about 75 Bitcoin, 4.4 million in the ransom, according to authorities. So I guess you got a little over half. I guess that's a good sign. Yeah, I mean, you're still down 2.2. I mean, look at it how you want. Some things to think about for sure as we are talking about it. Do I really need to? Okay, I will.
Oops. What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Hey, sometimes people shout at me on what to do next, so there you go. A rookie police officer from Arkansas saved a choking infant. Officer Cody Hubbard, 23, responded to a call for a 3-week-old boy who was choking on anti-gas drops. Oh, that's interesting. When Hubbard arrived on the scene, the baby was already turning purple and had stopped breathing. He quickly grabbed the child and clamped him to the back of and clamped him on the back. What the freak? Dislodging the drops. The baby is doing fine, and Hubbard will receive a life-saving award later this month. So hold on. I have to understand these drops. I guess there weren't liquid drops? I mean, what was he choking on? Like, did you really give, like, a drop? Like a cough drop size thing to a 3-week-old? I mean, that's an interesting one. Like, that's a real interesting one. I mean, I'm glad that Officer Cody Hubbard was able to come out and help, but geez, that could have got ugly quick.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, shootings have surged in NYC by more than 68% so far this year, according to the NYPD stats. Through last Sunday, the 5 boroughs have seen roughly about 602 shootings incidents with over 680 victims. By comparison, over the same time last year, the city dropped 358 shootings and 409 victims. Well, no shit. Everybody was locked up during the time. By comparison, over the same time last year. I mean, come on. In response to the violence, this was the past week took the life of a 10-year-old boy. Mayor Bill de Blasio just shrugged his shoulders and told the people it will only get worse as the summer approaches. So I don't know. I mean, can you legitimately compare it to last year? Because there were some different things going on last year, just in case you didn't realize this. But, I mean, that's some of the stuff we have to start talking about and being realistic about it. Opposed to it just being, oh, yeah, the numbers are better this year compared to last. Well, I would expect so. I would expect them to be so. I mean, it'd be kind of difficult to say that they weren't, with the majority of people not being even able to go into the general public. Something to think about for sure as we do talk about it.
Bringing you information you never knew you cared about. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, a group of Minneapolis residents have filed a lawsuit against the city and its mayor, blaming both for the spike in crime over the past year. The suit accuses the city of operating outside a charter that requires a minimum threshold of police officers per citizen in Minneapolis. The city council pushed to defund the police that caused officers to quit, which in turn has escalated the crime in the city. The lawsuit was filed last August, but got held up because of the high-profile case of former officer Derek Chauvin. So there you go. Interesting to see that that's what the people or the residents inside of the city are opting to do. So some things going on there for sure. What do you think about something like this when you start hearing about it, especially as we start talking more and more about the defunding portion of the police? I mean, lots of stuff to talk about. That is for sure, as we're talking about it here. Anyways, a South African woman has given birth to 10 babies. Yeah, you heard me correctly there. Josiam Thamara Sithole. Yeah, Sithole. A 37-year-old mom of twins was initially told that she was going to have 8 babies and was surprised with 2 more during her C-section birth on Monday. The mother said that her pregnancy was natural and that she had not received any fertility treatments. Oh my! Once confirmed, the 10 childbirth would be the first known for. Hold on, the 10 childbirth would be the first known birth of decuplets in the world. The previous record was held by Halima Sis, who gave birth to 9 babies. Non-nuplets last month. So there you go. Can you imagine that? Matter of fact, I can't imagine having more than 1 at one time. Could you imagine 9, and then could you imagine 10? Or if you're expecting 8, and all of a sudden you got a surprise of 2 more. What happens with the crib gimmick? I mean, do you start sharing some cribs there, or what the hell's going on? And geez, what kind of car do you have for that? 10 kiddos. That's a lot of kids. Man, I struggle with 2. I can't even imagine what 10 would actually look about. I mean, just my thought.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
So it is 28 minutes past the top of the hour, and, well, it's time to do that other thing that we do right around this time. Yeah, this time.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So let's start talking about some things, and I know that we talk a lot about a lot of stuff here. We talk about all kinds of interesting things going on for sure, and I will tell you, because we have spoken about this several thousand times throughout my career doing this radio thing, and that we're talking about all other kinds of stuff, but I am a huge fan of human and organizational performance. So human and organizational performance is something that we talk about on a good chunk of the shows that I am on. So you're probably already aware of that because you hang out with me. So this is something that we have to talk about. So I was hanging out, taking a look around at some different things, and somebody had sent me over we'll say it's a website. It sent me over some information on a website of maritime. And the editorial team for this maritime website, which I'll talk about here in a moment, I normally always hesitant because I've seen them crash in the past. Not this particular website. I'm just talking about when I mentioned something. So I'm always like, do we talk about it yet? But they go in to talk about, they have a book of the month. Okay. So during the book of the month discussion, and it's a maritime magazine, they talk about what are the 5 principles of human performance in an organization. So here's the interesting part. As I was taking a look around at this, it goes into some interesting information. So let's talk about it. Changing the way that you think about the work is a vital step towards improvement. And in this sense, human performance is a continuous area of study for businesses that wish to flourish. But how is this human performance interpreted and, most importantly, built in an organization? And it goes on to talk about Todd Conklin's book, The 5 Principles of Human Performance. A book entitled The 5 Principles of Human Performance comes to provide exactly what promises, and it unveils chapter by chapter of building blocks of human performance, emphasizing on those principles which should be the core of the reader's thinking and training in order to help organization programs shift from the conventional approach of safety and reliability. And it's an interesting read article because of the amount of detail that it goes into. And so it does talk a little bit about Todd. So let's go into that real quick. Written by Todd Conklin, who has spent 25 years at Los Alamos National Laboratory as a senior advisor for organizational and safety culture and holds a PhD in organizational behavior from the University of New Mexico. The book offers critical look and traditional approach of blame culture, questioning the of fixing the worker versus fixing the system. Drawing from experience in his previous book, the author shares valuable insights after years of interacting with high-consequence industries to provide eventually and elaborate on the 5 principles that make sense. Error is normal. Blame fixes nothing. Continuous learning is vital. Context influences behavior, and how you respond to failure matters. It goes into a lot more detail, of course, in regards of this. Now, here's the fun part. You know, when I start talking to organizations, regardless of where they're located on the planet, and we start talking about this whole thing of, safety differently or safety too, or we want to change the way that we do safety. It's interesting that these 5 little simple concepts, and I say 5 simple concepts, and let's not undersell here in regards of it, but these 5 concepts on how they can change your organization and even a lot of things inside of your life just by taking a look at this. Now, think about this real quick. And I love talking about these 5 items because these principles are so important. Error is normal. Blame fixes nothing. Continuous learning is vital. Context influences the behavior, and how you respond to failure matters. Think about this. Besides that, you can look at this from any standpoint in regards of an organization on how you're trying to change how the organization works. Think about how you would look at this if you applied this to just your normal life cycle. I can't tell you the amount of people that I have seen pissed off when something goes wrong. And how it's easy of going, it is that person's fault. It is that person's fault. It's kind of crazy when you really start thinking about it. Now, I'm going to tell you this next thing that I'm going to say is straight stolen from Ron Gant, but trying to fix your system or trying to fix something. So imagine you're trying to have the perfect marriage, and the way that you're deciding to have the perfect marriage is because you've studied divorce. Probably not the best way to go about trying to fix your safety issues inside of your organization. So imagine if you took these 5 principles and started applying them inside of the different things that you have going on. So if you have not picked up a copy of this book, I would strongly encourage you to do so. This is probably, I think it's the second to last. Yes, it's the second to last book that Todd wrote. Well, let me rephrase that. It's the second to last book that Todd has published. so that would be readily available for you. Anyways, let's continue talking a little bit more about what it says inside of here, just to kind of cover some of it. This is the best summarized by the author himself, who explained to safety. So, no, I'm not going to mention the company yet. The 5 Principle books helps organizations ask questions in a different way. Did mariners make bad choices, or did mariners have bad choices? As such, building on the expanding of the idea of safety differently, the 5 Principles of Human Performance services as a useful tool for leaders to question and reassess their current practices, as well as an excellent guide for new leaders who are at the beginning of their journey. In this way, the book is ideally addressed to the organizational leaders, executive managers, safety professionals, and workers, as well as anyone who's interested in human factors. Mariners have far too long been in a position where the question has been, what makes a good mariner make a bad choice? No matter how this question was asked, good people would be blamed for complex failure in an uncertain world. It seems like the approach needed to change, and the best way to do this is to get better answers if you ask better questions. So there you go. If you want to find out more information about this, this is actually listed on Safety. It's spelled out Safety, the number 4, CSEA. So safety4seac.com. And just look under the section for the actual portion that is related to the book of the month. So if you can do that, that would be quite fantastic. Matter of fact, I am going to send this to someone. I will probably send this little link over here to someone and ask them if they can repost it, because that would probably speed up the process, because if not, you're going to have to wait until I'm done and see if I can get it on to the FMer of the podcast side of the equation. But anyways, think about this. So if you want to see more about this, all you have to do is go to safety4the and that's the number 4.com, safety4the4.com, and then go to the book of the month section. I think it's an excellent read, has some great information in regards to Todd and the 5 Principles book. But think about this in the long run and in the big scheme of things on how important this information can be for you if you are actually to apply it into this lovely world of ours. Just something to think about as you and I are hanging out. On this occasion, I will not say what I would traditionally say. I'll just tell you, we'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day, making sure they brush their teeth, is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
So for years, I have been telling you how I sleep so miserably at night, but that has all changed as of recent, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you about my friends at Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep has a sleep quiz that takes just about 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why should you buy a mattress made for someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you will know will be perfect for the way you sleep. Everybody is unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have a soft, medium, and firm mattress. Mattress is great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. And even at Helix Plus mattresses for plus-size sleepers. I took the Helix quiz, and I was matched with a Helix Midnight Luxe mattress because I wanted something that felt soft, and I sleep on my side. It was such a different approach and exactly on how I was able to sleep. I love it. It's a huge upgrade from what I had before, that's for sure. The kids love it, even though they shouldn't be jumping on my bed, but that's a whole other story. And my wife loves it, which is important. So if you're looking for a mattress, you just take the quiz. You order the mattress, and you're matched to it. And the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't even need to go to the mattress store again. Helix is awesome, but you don't need my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety. There, take the 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you up with a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try the mattress for 100 nights, risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you will. Helix is offering up to $200 off of all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
The whole world burning. The whole world burning. It's red against blue. The whole world yearning for purple in the sky, like the sun is saying bye. The whole world learning its waste is about to die. Pray for pieces of the pie, but we sim with the crumbs. We just like we wanted love, so different than it was. Everything is falling down. Everything is falling down. Everything is falling down. Everything is falling down.
The sky is falling. Everybody's trying to grab the cloud. The sky is falling. Everybody.
Not sure what's going on there. Anyways, here we go. We are currently, let's see. We're 42 minutes into the hour. This is Chicken Little by Smart Face. This song's readily available on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube Music, Amazon Music. So there you go. We're a little bit everywhere right now. This is called Chicken Little.
Northern side of gold, I'm watching clouds as they come down to earth. But falling down is couch surfing king without a crown.
I'd like to say thank you for allowing us to play this one on the Rated R Safety Show.
Holding nimbus like I'm Goku, don't you think I'm tapping out? Guru told us where we headed, nothing, all just falling down.
Anywho. So there you go. Some fine music, some fine tunes as you and I are hanging and doing the things that we do here on this lovely, lovely Wednesday. So anyways, let's talk about some coronavirus update. Scientists believe that the COVID-19 pandemic safety measures such as masking and social distancing might have inadvertently, resulted in some flu strains going extinct. Since March of 2020, researchers have detected 2 previous common strains. Their disappearance is a fact of the broader trend of flu cases plummeting during the pandemic, but there's a catch. Even though the scientists haven't detected the strains in more than a year, they may still be out there, but their disappearance still makes the developing flu vaccine easier. That's because with 2 common strains out of the equation makes it the decision of which ones to focus on much simpler for the vaccine developers. Oh, another needle. It turns out that wearing a mask and social distancing really isn't a waste of time. According to the data of the Axios Esposos Coronavirus Index, which is I lost it, which started back in March of 2020. Those who reported never wearing a mask were twice as likely to test positive for COVID as those who said they wore a mask all the time. Just 11% of people who responded to always wearing a mask outside of the home tested positive, compared to the 23% of people of those who said that they never wore a mask. So there you go. The pattern similar for social distancing. Just 10% of people said they kept 6-foot distance from others at all time tested positive for COVID, compared to 26% of people who said that they never distance. And those are the people that you want to be distanced from. So some things to think about for sure as we are talking about it and moving around and about. By the way, so let's take a look here. Whatever you're trying to send through, it's just giving me some asterisks, so thank you for that, just in case. It is 45 minutes past the top of the hour. So I had asked somebody to be able to send over the article we were just discussing. Look for it on the podcast. We might even do a social media post just in case later on. Anyways, let me give you some hot tip. Yeah, take it for that. When the sun comes out, the clothes naturally come off. What? Hold on. But a top sleep expert says you wouldn't sleep naked during a heat wave because actually it makes you hotter. Lead sleep psychologist at the London Cromwell Hospital, Julius Patrick, says that when it's warm, whatever clothing you're wearing acts like a sponge. So if you sleep naked, you could actually collect If you sleep naked, your sweat actually collects on your body and remains there. If you're wearing light clothes, it soaks up the sweat you produce, which cools you off. Trust me, sleeping naked will make me hotter. Will not make me hotter. Should probably really be what it says. You should also avoid sleeping naked if you sleepwalk, because that could be definitely an interesting conversation. Well, I know when I sleep naked, it's definitely cool. It cools my wife off. Think about it in that fashion. What the?
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's continue talking real quick. Guess what? Guess wrong. Yeah, there you go. As COVID restrictions on meeting indoors eases in many ways, some of us might require a refresher on a few of the finer points involved in being courteous among house guests. A survey of 2,000 UK residents on the visitor no-nos found that the biggest etiquette violations is wiping your greasy hands on someone's couch. That's followed closely by putting your feet on someone's furniture. Other major faux pas in order include entering someone's house without removing your shoes, swearing, showing up at someone's place unannounced. Also considered taboo bodily functions alerts are passing gas in someone's home and stinking up the bathroom. And by the way, asking for the Wi-Fi password is okay as long as you wait 30 minutes after arrival. I'm pretty sure my kids' friends have all these things on a checklist for whenever they come over and visit. Kind of makes you long for the good old days of quarantine, doesn't it? What else do you have to say that should be added to the list? Some things to think about for sure.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves. Only on Safety FM.
Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. 47 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's talk about some signs that you're smart. Well, at least smarter than the average. You don't actually believe that you're smart. The smartest people are so self-aware that they question their skills. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know, on the other hand. Studies have showed that many others think that they are smarter than they actually are. Oopsies. There you go. You understand the power of question, from staying curious and continuously asking your own biases, questioning your own biases, and not taking the status quo for granted. This inclination manifests in different ways, but it also does mean that you're extra sharp. Okay, I'll start with the question. What does manifest mean? I mean, let's just ask the question. You have a dirty mouth. Yeah, that's another one. A study found the taboo word fluency is correlated with having a broad vocabulary, but it's also associated with the trait of openness based on the big 5 personality traits of psychology models, which is about being imaginative, curious, and open-minded. Traits that tend to be shared by geniuses, innovators. This is not what I was taught in Sunday school. You're a night owl. A study found that eye-opening types are more likely to score higher on intellectual tests. So if you needed an excuse to justify your habit of going to bed super late, you might have just found it. I knew I had to be stupid to take this job. Oh, so did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. Okay, you like to crack jokes. Not only are funny people considered more attractive, researchers have also found that the reason a sense of humor is considered desirable is that the intelligence that is required in order to be funny. So what if I like to crack stupid jokes? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's some stuff to think about, that's for sure, as I do mention it.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
When you're in the courtroom fighting big business, government, or insurance companies, you can't blink because they can smell fear. They have the money and the power to grind you down. And that's why you need me. I'm not afraid, and I don't cut and run. Feiger Law. I was born for this.
Okay, Feiger Law, you can reach them at 1-800-A-WINNER. That's Jeffrey Feiger. Yeah, you kind of hear him here daily in regards to what the hell's going on there. So there you go. Jeffrey Feiger, readily available to help you out, buddy. Help you out. Anyways, let me jump real quick and let me make sure that I get into this because I want to say this because it's always important. Let's talk about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Know that you're not alone. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local community whose lives have been impacted by suicide. Call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-TALK, or text the word TALK to 741-741. Or you can go to their website at afsp.org. That's afsp.org for more information. Don't do anything if you've actually been considering suicide until you actually contacted the people at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Just an idea. Okay, so there you go. That's some information. We are 51 minutes into the hour as we are talking. I haven't mentioned this over the last few days, but I think it's time to mention it now. Let me tell you about my friend Todd Conklin. He has a class coming up, or has a class going on really right now. You can find out some more information about his Bouncing Forward class. All you have to do is go to safetyfm.io to join Todd for his newest class. That's at safetyfm.io, and we'll be talking about bouncing forward from the COVID stages of life. So there you go, some things that you can do if you're interested in doing so, and hanging out with Todd himself. So there you go, some information always readily available. Anyways, let's get you into some other news, as we always do, before we get you the hell out of here. Now listen, in the next 8 minutes or so, I will be going over exclusively to Radio Big, dropping out of here. You're more than welcome on hanging out here and taking a listen more to what's going on inside of the world of safety, or you can come across the board there and go and listen to some music, and we'll talk about some entertainment news if you so desire to do so. Anyways, let's talk about the lottery real quick. A winning lottery ticket on Saturday's Powerball was sold in Florida. The winner has the option of the $285.6 million jackpot, or $196.7 million cash payout. Tonight's drawing will be for $20 million jackpot, or a $13.8 million cash payout. So there you go. Some things to think about. Just in some interesting news, should we talk about this? Yeah, we'll talk about it. The top two attorneys for R. Kelly legal team have bailed. Stephen Greenberg and Michael Leonard who have been Kelly's side for years, filed documents late Monday requesting to withdraw from the singer's federal case. As for why they wanted to exit, there is reportedly some sort of issue with the other members of the Kelly's legal team. The disgraced singer trial, which includes charges of racketeering, sexual exploitation of child, kidnapping, and forced labor and bribery, is set to begin on August the 9th. Not the best of times to actually be getting that notification, just FYI. Anyways, let's continue talking real quick about some other things going on inside of this lovely world real quick. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2013, Edward Snowden makes his identity known as the leaker of the NSA documents. The documents revealed publicly numerous global programs for the first time. He acquired the documents while working at the NSA as a contractor. Snowden would be charged the following week with violating the Espionage Act and theft of government property, but fled to Hong Kong and then Russia, where he still remains. That happened 8 years ago. So there you go. Anyways, let's talk about some birthdays that are going on right now. Lori Hernandez, Olympic gymnast, turns 21. Mae Whitman turns 33 from Good Girls. Oh, I thought it said Golden Girls for a second. Are you ready for this? You're going to sound old with me. Natalie Portman turns 40 today. Yikes! Yeah. Matthew Bellamy turns 43. Johnny Depp turns 57. Michael J. Fox turns 60. Aaron Sorkin, from Suits fame, turns 60. Dick Vitale turns 82. And Jackie Manson turns 90 today. So there you go. Some interesting things going on right there. If you're looking for some days of the year that you can celebrate today, here you go. National Donald Duck Day, National Strawberry Pie Day, and National Earl Day. Hi, Earl. Wherever the hell you're at. So there you go. Let's talk about some Did You Know? Let's go through this real quick. The price of a cup of tea could soar as climate change makes India monsoon season even more severe, warns a new study. Heavier rains will wash away crops in the country where farming makes up a fifth of the economy. This will put the tea industry at risk of reducing tea yields as well as reducing the flavor and health benefits, says scientists from Brown University. Coming soon, steep tea prices. You get it? You get it? Yeah, you shouldn't get it. It's a terrible joke. Anyways, let's continue talking real quick about some other things, just in case if you wanted to know. If you need some whack facts for today, I'm going to give you some of those. Spending money on experiences as opposed to material possession leads to a greater happiness. There you go. Not getting enough sleep and being hungry are two of the biggest reasons for being hungry. According to research, most online daters contact people bearing no resemblance to their characteristics that they say that they were looking for in a partner. That explains a lot. Forest fires move faster uphill than downhill. Something to think about. A rat can fall from a five-story building without injury. And in England in the 1880s, pants are considered a dirty word. Oh, what a dirty word that is. Think about it for a second.
Duh.
Okay, so let's continue talking real quick about some other stuff relatively quick, real quick. If you need a random joke for today, try this one. My plans is to put up a map of the world. I'm going to put pins into all the places that I've traveled to, but first, I'm going to have to travel to the top two corners of the world so the map won't fall down. Yeah, I did say that. If you need a phone starter for today, try this one. What is something that you'd never eat, no matter how hungry you get? Sounds interesting. Okay, if you need something for the water cooler for today, try this. Question. According to a survey, 14% of us have never performed this simple task. What is it? A written letter. Boy, have times changed if you really think about that. That's kind of a cray-cray one. Anyways, let me give you this one real quick. Matthew Perry and Molly Husnitz have broken off their engagement. They agreed to keep They agreed to each to keep what they brought into the relationship, which is why Molly has been seen leaving the place with just a suitcase. Michael Cera turns 33 today. Fans will celebrate by wishing him a happy birthday. To Jesse Elsenberg, because they get them all mixed up all the time. Johnny Depp is 58 today. He doesn't know his birthday party or what to wear because Tim Burton hasn't told him. Donald Duck is 87 today. Disney's most famous pantsless superstar until Lindsay Lohan. Oh, oops, I said that. Caution. Yeah, always a caution. A survey finds that sarcasm and teasing are two of the ways that women play hard to get. I don't know how common it is, but it is also an experience of pepper spray. So that's something to think about just in case.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, so you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show exclusively on RadioBig.fm and on SafetyFM.com. Remember, Safety FM is the home of real safety talk. Thank you for coming out, hanging out this morning. You are the most important part of Safety FM, and that is the listener. If I can leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Some people say that you are going the wrong way when it's simply a way of your own. Think about that. Sometimes you have to create your own path. Anyways, thank you for taking a listen. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.